Well, good morning. Good morning. Beth is going to be passing out some handouts for you, and I will invite up some of our Master Certified coaches that are here this weekend. Jenny Morris, Pam Maldonado, Bill Houlihan, and both Dr. Bush, Evan Bush, will be with us. So praise the Lord. You know, I have to say that this weekend has been a huge continuing education for all of us, no matter where you're at, whether you're not certified yet, whether you're certified with the variety of certifications that you can get through Beautiful Life and PCCCA, which I have a joy restoration and grief coaching certification. I have a stress coaching certification. I hope I pass the test and have a wellness certification. I have whatever else. I mean, everything, in my opinion, for me, my past was I was a teacher, junior high and high school teacher. And you do have to have continuing education to keep your certification up, right? Or be able to teach in the classroom or substitute, which I did. And in my heart, and I know all of yours because we're brothers and sisters, as Bill was saying this morning, and Lou as well, that we need continuing education. Whether it be that, you know, if the Lord lays it on your heart to get the different certifications that Dr. Bush gives us as an opportunity, continuing to read, continuing to be getting an education, and something as important as Christian life coaching. And I think we all agree on that. Let me just say that as a former ranch girl, Pam and I have lots in common. We were schlepping. I was pitchforking out that manure with you the other day. I really feel like, and this is the best vernacular I can come up with, and I can see it in your faces and in your eyes, that God is getting the horses in the barn. He is putting the horses in the barn because there's so much that we can't see, but it is happening around us spiritually in the battlefield, and you're part of that battlefield. You're strategically part of that battlefield. The other day I heard a pastor say, or maybe it was on FamilyLife.com, this author said, I feel like there needs to be like a Christian SWAT team. And we kind of are a Christian coaching SWAT team because we all have different gifts and talents that God has called us to use. But we are a team of people that love each other and love the Lord and are willing to go into the battle together to help our clients process the things that the Lord is calling them to do. So isn't that exciting? I am delighted that we are all here together. A couple quick scriptures. If you do not know if you are called to yet get a master certification, that is fine, but we want to help you process that and just tell you what it's about, what we've experienced, but I don't want you to stop because of fear. In Isaiah 41:10, which is actually my life verse, and I could go on about how God has used this in my heart and in my life a million times, says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, I will help you, I will uphold you with my victorious right hand." So I want you to fear not. If God is calling you, if He is calling you, He will equip you, as Dr. Bush was saying the other day, right? And also Joshua 1:8, this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth. We as coaches need to stay in His Word because that is the source. He is the source of everything that we share with a client. But you shall meditate on it day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Do not be afraid, nor dismayed, for the Lord your God will go with you wherever you go. So keep that in mind as you're thinking about, should I be certified, master certified? Should I move on with that process or not? How will you know? Well, first of all, is becoming a master certified Christian life coach a component of the Lord's calling on your life? And how will you know that? Well, prayer, yeah. Prayer, is it your passion to continue your education and, you know, to be at a deeper level of Christian coaching? Are you getting godly counsel on that from people that are qualified to give you that counsel? People perhaps that would be on this panel or calling Dr. Bush and talking over with her, you know, where you are and should you go on with a master certification? Are you ready for that? And are you in His Word asking for His wisdom? Because He says He'll give it to us in James 1:8 if we ask, right? And get information, become educated about the process, which is where we're going with today. What is Master Certification by PCCCA? It's a highly personalized Christian life coach training by phone with Dr. Bush, with an emphasis on professional skills, practicing development, and product creation and development of a Christian coaching practice. It is an enhanced 6-month, in-depth, rigorous pace for professionals and high achievers, and of course it's by application only. And some of these things are right straight off the website, so if you didn't get everything, don't worry about it. I want you to know that the notes that are in front of you, it's not only about what perhaps we say, but what it makes you think. Put down questions, put down ideas. This is a process that you're working through. Okay, just again off the website so you have that basis. Briefly, the major prerequisite for master certification is that you go through the Christian life certification, that you become a CCLC. It's an advanced educational opportunity for Christian life coaches to further your education and coaching credentials, as well as meet the needs of a growing profession. A lot, in fact most, master level coaching programs require years of experience, as well as major investment of time and your resources. In this program, you have an opportunity to work directly with Dr. Bush, which I can tell you is a huge privilege. You already know that, but I will say from my perspective, she created the Christian Coaching 2.0, and it uses a biblical foundation rather than psychology to teach us how to coach our clients. And I know we are all followers of Jesus in this room, and we desire with the very depths of our hearts to follow biblical worldview and scriptural principles in our coaching. This is a place that you can continue your education in doing so and trusting that. The training with Dr. Bush, the website says, is valued at over $9,000, in addition to your personal MCLC training costs. However, may I say it's priceless? Because you can use it in every area of your life. And we'll talk more about that later. You are trained by an author and an industry expert that you can become also an industry expert and make a great income and a sustainable business, and it helps no matter what your vision is. So you can create unlimited number of your own products, and that is one of the income streams that continue to pay you. And also, as a graduate and master life coach, you can apply for a position at Beautiful Life as a PCCCA coach or trainer when that's available. And the sky really is the limit. What is your vision? What has the Lord laid on your heart? And Dr. Bush is the perfect one to help you with that. Okay, I'm going to skip right down to, this is a program outline. And again, you can run right onto the website, but I do want to give you a foundation for what it looks like practically before we get into the panel discussions, because they're not just logistics, the questions that we've come up with here. Within the coaching practicum, the candidate is required to coach a minimum of 10 individuals for a minimum of 4 sessions each. Of those sessions, master program participants, you have to record and submit 2 coaching sessions of at least 30 minutes in length. You complete 1 major project, which will be a marketing project designed to produce ongoing passive income for you. You'll refine your coaching skills, business skills, marketing skills, networking skills, teaching skills, so that you can serve as a role model, PCCCA, by the high standards that you personally uphold. You read 4 assigned program books, and you write a paper on each, and the fee structure is on the website. So, is it worth it? Absolutely. Now let's get to our panel, because I know they have lots of great information and how they saw the program to share with you today. And if we have time at the end, we'll be happy to take a couple of questions, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. First of all, I'm going to introduce our panel members. Jenny Morris became a certified Christian life coach and a master life coach. She was awarded Christian Coach of the Year in 2008. Not surprising whatsoever. She is a trained Christian counselor and trainer, as well as a certified stress relief coach. Most recently, she co-created and taught the Relationship Communication Specialist program at PCCCA. Her coaching niches are relationship communication specialist and trainer and program designer. She's a Christian life coach for women in transition, for single parents, for foreign adoption, and also those seeking biblical answers. And she serves on the ICE Board of Directors, the International Christian Education Credentialing Board, as does Dr. Bush and Bill Houlihan as well. Jenny also writes a blog or a column called Ask Amazing Grace for Religion Online News, and she answers questions of faith, love, and relationships from a biblical perspective. Help me welcome Jenny Morris. Oh, I wish I could say all that I want to say about each of these people, but let me read a little bit about Pam. Those of you that were with us on Thursday know a lot more about Pam, and I'm not going to ask you to do exercises right now. That was a lot of fun, but heels don't work that way. Pam Maldonado is from Northfield, Minnesota, and she is a 28-year veteran fitness and nutrition educator and expert who is a certified Christian life coach and a master Christian life coach with a master's education in curriculum and instruction. Currently, she's also teaching kindergarten through 5th grade physical education, and her specialty is wellness coaching, and she has authored a book along with Dr. Bush called The Christian Wellness Coaching, which was a fantastic read and taught me so much about how to help clients, but also how to apply it to my own life. And who knows, could be life-saving. As well as a Christian wellness coach and certification course. She's married to Efren. She has 2 kids that are 19 and 21 and a beautiful 2-year-old horse named Sierra. Yeah. So, Dr. Bush, I didn't get your bio put in here, but we all know Dr. Bush as Dr. Joy, and she has changed all of our lives. So we are delighted to have you with us, and we know your bio, but you are a great friend, a teacher, an author, a speaker, a life changer, a legacy changer, and a difference maker in the kingdom of Christ. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
And did we give Pam a round of applause? I think we need to. Oh, Reverend Evan Bush. He was so busy, we didn't connect on your bio, but I did steal some things off of websites. So he's the president of PCCCA and is a specialty trainer for the organization. He is an MCLC himself. He directs the technology and logistics for the organization of PCCCA and BLC, and he and his wife Leelo enjoy their Southwest Florida lifestyle of boating, fishing, theater, gardening, bicycling, and it sounds like you make a mean cup of coffee to bring to your wife just strategically. So, Bill Houlihan hails from Chicago, Illinois, where he lives with his wife, Lori. Yes? Bill's professional designations or certifications are Master Christian Life Coach, Certified Christian Life Coach, and Certified Stress Relief Coach, all with PCCCA. Academic degrees earned, he has a BA in Real Estate Appraisal, and ministerial background is with the NAMB, which is North American Mission Board of the Southern Baptist Convention, and he has an additional coaching certification through CoachNet. So thank you, Bill, and welcome. Okay, so we are going to go through a series of panel questions, and you have space to write underneath the panel questions. First of all, though, I would like each of the panelists to just give us what their niche is, just like in a very short little clip. What is your niche? We'll start with Jenny. What is your niche, and what is your website?
Was foreign adoption coaching, and the reason I'm mentioning that is because that's where Dr. Bush and I originated my niche, is because we went through a series of ideas and really realized, of course, that was such a huge passion for me because I got the best gift out of it all, which was my beautiful daughter. And so I just am so grateful for that. So it is foreignadoptioncoach.com, and it's just just such a delight. Dr. Bush helped me with every step in going through that whole process. So I can't say enough about what I received through my relationship with her.
Okay, my niche is wellness, I guess. It kind of just falls into place naturally. PamMaldonado.com. And through all the work developing the course and everything with Dr. Bush, I haven't done anything with that website. And it's just like a one-page thing on there right now, and I have a bunch of things in the works, so there will be more coming on that. Is that it?
Yeah, thank you.
Good.
Oh, well, my personal website is drofjoy.com, and it doesn't matter whether you put Dr. D-O-C-T-O-R or D-R, it goes to the same place, drofjoy.com.
And her niche is everything.
Aw.
Oh, I guess I am mic'd. I don't need to be dually mic'd. Okay, I get confused. Too many mics around me. Okay, my niche, and part of this that I really, really love and I think is desperately needed, is the marketing and business part. And so I started out with a huge passion for coaching, and I realized very quickly into it that although coaching is, it's very much needed, people who offer this service and those who need it are not connecting. And it's difficult on both ends of it. When you need something, you can't get it, can't find it, and when you have something to offer and you start to feel, wait a minute, do I really, am I really valid in offering this because I'm not receiving the clients? There's a disconnect there. And so because of my marketing background, I used to own a marketing firm, and it's just been, sales has been a passion for me. I had some of the just world-class sales training with IBM. I wasn't ever an IBM employee, but I was mentored into the program. So I received that, and it's just always been a passion for me, and I love it. Unlike most people who are in people helping professions, they do it because they kind of have to.
Yeah.
But I love marketing, I love business, and I love sharing it. I love helping people find their gift and share it with the world.
Thank you.
I'm Evan Bush, known as Rev Ev.
Or Bear. You've known as Bear to some
Bear,
people.
Rev Ev.
Uncle Bear.
Yeah.
And my niche is loving and supporting Dr. Bush.
Aww.
And my website is PCCCA.org.
I'm Bill Houlihan. Just right from the get-go, the biggest thing that I learned through the master's program, and Dr. Bush can tell you, the biggest struggle for me was to find a niche. I just really didn't know what direction. I first started off because of what's been going on in the real estate business over the last 5-6 years. I felt kind of a calling in that direction, but that wasn't right. So then the Lord helped me see that helping people in transition, which there's a lot of real estate appraisers that are no longer in the business, and but I didn't want to focus in that direction really. So the Lord just helped me through in helping people with their life purpose, especially in the area of small business owners or managers of small companies, because I've found, as with myself being an owner of a small business, that small business owners out there that are followers of Christ, they feel isolated, and there's really no one out there for them to go to for coaching, and I feel that that's my niche, and the Lord has brought people in that circumstance to me. So it's been rewarding, so that's where I'm at.
Do you have a website?
My website is billhoulihan.com. The correct spelling is BILLHOULIHAN.com.
Thank you.
.com. Thank you.
And Dr. Bush asked me if I would coordinate the panel, but also be kind of part of the panel, and I forgot to tell you who I am. So I'll just tell you a little bit. I told you a little bit, but I have my MCLC, and I am also an author, which I'm excited about. I was excited about yesterday to hear more about how to do that. I just finished a Bible study and discussion guide for musicforthesoul.org for their more beautiful CD, DVD, which is on women with breast cancer. Because I've had breast cancer 3 times, and I do Bible studies for women with breast cancer and do retreats. I'm giving one in October, a full-day retreat for people in our community with breast cancer. That's become one of my niches, but I also coach a lot of boomers and Gen Yers, not so much the Gen Xers. I got to get into that. That will be available, but my writing will be available in October, I hope. I also highly believe in supporting the destruction of breast cancer. How can I say that? Well, but anyway, I do everything that I can to assist in that. So research and mammograms for people that can't afford to do that. And one of the ways is Avon Walk. And I've walked it 2 times now. I just finished a 2-day walk of almost 40 miles in Santa Barbara at the beginning of this month. So if I seem a little tired, it's because I still sort of am. And I'm working on the wellness component. I love to walk. I love Pilates. And I love my husband of 35 years, 2 boys, 2 daughter-in-laws, and Jaden. If you haven't seen his picture, see me afterwards. I'll show you. I love my Jaden. Okay, so the questions will be answered by maybe 1 or 2 or more, but not all of the questions need to be answered by every coach. Oh, my website, personalretreatcoaching.com. Thank you. Okay, so we have 13 questions. Not everyone has to answer every question, but if the Holy Spirit lays it on your heart, we want to hear about it, and we'll just take a couple of minutes, 1 or 2 minutes on each answer if that's possible, and then hopefully we'll have time at the end to answer some questions. So the first question is, why did you decide to go on with your education from being a certified Christian life coach to master certified Christian life coach? Would anyone like to start?
That's awesome.
Okay, Pam.
Well, I started out, I think it was in October, right, Efren, when I did my CCLC, and I had did the one-on-one with Pastor Florine. And she is an amazing woman. And when I was finished, she said, Pam, would you consider, have you ever thought of taking this master level course? And I said, no. And I said, why? And then she started giving me all the reasons why. And she says, I'm just saying, maybe. And I said, well, I don't know what's involved. And she gave me all the stuff. And I'm like, I can do, if you tell me what to do, I can do it. That's not a problem. But why? And what she told me was, it's up to you. You make that decision. But there's some calling here. And so it was just so cool to have that connection. And the other part, even before I took that, I had something within me that was like, I need to change professions. I can't keep chasing 5-year-olds around for another 20 years, And I want to retire into something that matters. And I feel like teaching in public school, I can't spread the love of Christ. And I've been squished for 28 years with that. And so I needed something else. And the gal that I teach with had said, oh, have you ever looked at life coaching? I think you'd be a really good life coach. And I'm like, what is that even? So I started researching, and I looked at a lot of secular things. And then it was like, oh, here's some Christian things. And I looked at them, and it's like you've said, it's like secular with, here's a few Bible verses in there. And after 3 days, the PCCCA site came up, and I kept seeing your picture. And I was like, okay, it's another one of those, whatever, went away. And then I'd search again the next day, and it would come up again. And then the 3rd day it came up. And so then it was like, okay, fine, I'm going to fill out this stuff. And here's the times that okay, so then I take the thing with Pastor Florine, and then she's like, okay, maybe I'll do it. So I filled out that application. And what happened was, I said, here's the times I have my prep time, that you could call me. Well, Dr. Bush called me at 9:30 in the morning. I never, ever, ever, ever have a prep time then. But it happened to be that class went to a nature center that day. And I walked in my office, and my phone was ringing, and she was on the other end of it. And I was like, okay, God, I get it now. This is what I'm supposed to do. And, that just got the whole ball rolling.
I never knew that.
I know, I didn't tell you that. I didn't tell you that stuff. And so that just gave me the confidence that this is a good place to be. It's biblically based. And the encouragement that I got from this angel sitting next to me in this program, it's just, I've turned into a different person, right, Efren, Rafa? Yeah. Because as I said, I started out with this 28 years, going to 29 years of, you're lucky you have a job. You're just prep time for the teachers. And to me, it was a really important thing to do. And I do it for the kids, because obviously the administration doesn't care. And cutting our programs, continually cutting. And, this whole feeling of, like, you're really kind of worthless, but you're lucky you have a job. And needing to move out of that and feeling like I have more to offer, and where Dr. Bush told me I have more to offer, and made me believe that I did have something to offer. So I did what she said. The taskmaster, the iron fist in the velvet glove, right here.
Yeah.
Don't mess with her.
Amen.
But if you do everything she says, it's good.
Absolutely.
The end is good.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pam. That's awesome. Thank you. Anybody else want to share on that question, or shall we move on to the next question? Okay. All right. What is it like? Question number 2 is, what is it like to become and to be a master Christian life coach?
Why don't you answer that one, Kathleen? And then maybe Jenny.
Okay, I have a thing. What is it like to become and be a master Christian life coach? The 6-month process was very refining and very exciting, and yes, velvet glove, but it was a very stretching process, and it made me identify things in why I could, when I thought just naturally why I was not, why I couldn't. I finished my education, my teaching degree many years before. And so I had lost a lot of confidence. And Dr. Bush is awesome in her restoration and the healing part of that. To be a Master Christian Life Coach has given me a whole level of confidence of having completed a very major program of 6 months, which was a fantastic activity to do, fantastic work. It was tough, but I'm not afraid of tough stuff, and I know none of you are. So it was worth the hours, it was worth the time, because this has given me a platform to be able to speak with more authority when I am in a coaching situation with clients. And I love my coaching situation with clients, but also as a speaker, as an author, and it has just stretched me in ways that I was not aware I even needed stretching, but God was aware, and He used the MCLC process to do that. So,
can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I keep hearing tough. Was it tough because you couldn't figure it out? Not because you couldn't, but I mean, was it tough because I made it hard to figure out, or was it tough just because there were a lot of requirements that were refining for you?
Thank you for that question, because that's important, because there were a lot of requirements that were refining for me. Not tough in the process, very logical in the process, actually. It was very sequential. It took you from here to here to here to here. That wasn't tough. It was very well put together. However, it stretched me at all of those steps on that ladder, and I'm grateful for that. But I wasn't aware that I needed stretching on those spots in the ladder, and I did. and you lovingly helped me to do that. So in terms of the program itself, wasn't tough to do. It was just tough, the stuff that I was doing within me to make those steps happen. So thank you
thanks for that.
No, thank you for asking me to clarify. It was hard. It was not hard because. It was hard because. Okay. All right, let's go on to the next question if that's okay.
Jenny, did you want
Jenny?
to answer that?
Oh, yes, please.
I can answer. Is this on?
She said something about, well, it wouldn't be, everybody here would be able to do certain things and they're all real smart. Well, when I was growing up, I was told every day of my life how stupid I was.
Oh.
So I'm going to try to do this without emotion. It's going to be hard. So I knew I could get a regular certification because I had several certifications in real estate and I went through those classes successfully and so forth. But I remember thinking and praying, talking to God and saying, well, wow, I wish I could be a master certified life coach because I have friends that are so smart. But in the back of my head, it was always like, but you're really just not that bright. So, you probably shouldn't take this class. But that day, I think it was that day, I was talking to Dr. Bush, and she asked me if I would like to be in this master class. And I thought, wow, that's a sign from God that I should do this. And I knew the tears were going to come. Sorry.
It's okay. We all do it.
Yeah, but not all of you have mascara on. And so, I was so excited about it, and I think I listed a whole bunch of reasons why I wasn't qualified. And one by one, she went through it, and she said, well, but you are qualified because you have this experience, and you've done this and that. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. That sounds great. When did we start? Well, I think we started in June, and she said you have six months to do it. And then in July, my dad died. And I was like, oh my goodness. And it was, I think I found out about it while I was studying for my master's. I was sitting with the books, and so anyway, then she calls me and she says, do you think you could get through the work by October? And I'm like, okay, so I already don't think I'm very bright. Secondly, my dad dies. And third, you want me to do it in 4 months instead of 6 months. And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
And she's always a cheerleader. Oh, you can do it. It's no problem. You can do it. And, and I think I wanted to do a cable show as my research project. And because my dad died, I just couldn't do it. So
But Jenny, why did you need to do it by October?
Because of the conference, and you were giving...
Because you wanted to receive it in person,
in
right?
person.
Yeah. That way you could receive your certification in person.
Okay.
In front of the conference.
That's a great reason. That's a great goal. Love that.
That was the motivation.
We are boomers, we're competitive.
Oh my goodness. Well, she has a better memory than I do here for what happened. Because a lot of the stuff I don't. When you have to deal with all the emotion of your father passing, it was too much. But I did it, and then and I wrote my papers, and I was very studious, and I rewarded myself, because one of the books I think said you should reward yourself all the time if that motivates you. Mm-hmm. And so, I would find out, I think that time there were these white chocolate Reese's peanut butter cup. Sugar-free. And I would
This is a hear no evil moment.
It was sugar-free. me.
Well, that makes all
And I
the
would
difference.
reward myself with that if I could just get through something. And eventually I did, and I would send it in, and I would think, I really worked so hard, very, very diligently, and I wrote, and I did my utmost and prayed, and Dr. Bush said, this is great. You did a fantastic job. And I was like, really? Wow, that's so good. And so I think that basically was my journey through the master class, and it has blessed me in many numerous ways, which will probably be asked on one of these questions here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Precious. All right, very good. Well, let's move on to the next question. What is the same as a CCLC, and how is it different, and how is your training different? How might your accountability be different? Those are three pretty big questions, but maybe we could just get a couple of brief answers on that. And you can also see any of us afterwards and ask bigger, more in-depth questions.
I just want to add something real quick before Bill. Sometimes God has to push us forward in what we're doing. I think by Jenny being challenged to finish on time, that it took a lot off of her mind of her father and her circumstances and her doubts. So she had to focus on getting done instead of focus on, like we heard today, don't focus on your past, focus on now, focus on your future. And it's God's timing, and He knows how fast you need to move so you don't, is the word ruminate on things, go over.
Yeah.
And it stops you dead in your tracks.
Good point. Great point. Thank you.
When I took my CCLC, I had Kathy Bateman as my trainer, and she was wonderful, just great. And I loved the training that I got. But the thing that was really great about the master program was, instead of meeting every week with your trainer, you meet with Dr. Bush once a month. And that 6 month, I had the luxury of 6 months, not 4 months. But I can tell you that 6 months goes very, very quickly. And the thing that is really rewarding about the master's program is because you don't meet every week with an accountability partner, it's between you and God, and He's the true master. And you really have to rely upon the Lord to get you through everything. You are stretched to your limit. You really are. If you procrastinate, it will be difficult to get caught up.
Don't.
And the thing that for me, we had gone like 4.5 months maybe, and I think I finally called Dr. Bush and I said, I'm getting bogged down on my niche. I feel like the Lord is saying, you need to regroup. And you know what? I would not have regrouped had it not been for the master's program, because I was sitting still. I was, just being distracted, by who, and it just allowed me time to focus on the Lord and to pay attention to Him. And He lights your path in His timing. And even up until the last few weeks, He's continued to do that with my coaching practice. So just, if you feel you're called, just do it. Obey God and do it. It's so rewarding. And it's a personal journey between you and the Lord. It's great.
Thank you. I'd also, can I add something
Yes,
to
please.
that? Okay. For those of you who are not in the program or haven't been through the master program. I think with each person that goes through it, the bar is raised. And it's a 6-month program, but Pam and I aren't quite done yet. We started in January, if that tells you anything. But, you know, this project has grown and grown, and I think it's been just divine inspiration that has grown it. At the same time, I will tell you that not everybody who takes it does so successfully. And the thing that I have seen, there's a couple things that get in the way where somebody does not successfully complete it. One of them is trying to reinvent the wheel. And we lay out for you what you need to do when you need to do it. If you do it as it is prescribed, you will absolutely be successful. If you try and reinvent the wheel and say, well, that's nice, but I'd rather do it that way, then you might not make it if that way doesn't work. And we've had a few of those people who wanted to do things other than the way that it was prescribed. And I'm not going to, you know, tell you can't. Maybe your way will work. I don't want to micromanage you, but I do know what works. So if you want a guaranteed path to succeed, then you will follow the way that it's prescribed. Another reason that some people have not made it through the master program successfully is because they get off track, they get distracted, they don't finish their work on the timeline that they're supposed to get it done. If they fall behind a little bit, it's possible to catch up. It is possible, but if those same things continue to bog you down, that bogged you down in the beginning, if you don't have it done in time, then you probably won't make it. Now, in Pam's particular case, we kept coming up with, we need this, and oh, we need this. You know, so it went from this to this to this to this. And it was divine inspiration. It was a collaboration in our case. And so that's fine. She has succeeded, she has passed, and tonight she'll get her certificate. And you all get to be here for it. But I just wanted to clarify for you that just because you enter the master program does not mean that it'll be successful for you. But with those 2 tips, stay on track, stay focused, get your work done on time, and do what we ask you to do when we ask you to do it. And it stretches you, but it's not unreasonable. And you will be successful, and next time we meet, you can be sitting up here.
Awesome. Thank you for clarifying that, because that's true. But if you go in for an MBA or a doctorate program, unless you do the work and finish the work on their time frame, you're not going to end up with the degree. And the same here, and I think that's really fair and very authentic that we have to do the work. And so,
and it wouldn't be fair to those who did the work if everybody made it.
Right.
You know, and that some people did the work, some people didn't, but everybody made it. It's just not the way my mind works, and I don't think that's the way I don't think that's a standard that God wants us to.
Right. There's a high value on having it done the work.
Yeah.
And those of us that have done the work, appreciate that. Yeah, you bet. Yes, Pam.
Well, I just want to say real quick that Bill, everybody says, well, I get to talk to Dr. Bush once a month. That's how it's set up. But for a lot of people, it's way more than that. Constant email contact, calls it late at night. So you get access to her more than just once a month. And some people like Pam.
Daily access.
I didn't want to go there.
Well, no, it's not. Actually, it's not. But sometimes it's kind of.
But when you work with her, she is 100% dedicated to you. I've seen her 110% dedicated to people. And she works it out with them. And some people, they need a little more, help, prodding, whatever, than others. And it's not that if you don't do it her way, you don't pass, because her way is the only way. It's the godly way. And people fall off. And it hasn't been too many, but we have people fall off because they didn't want to do it the godly way. And that's where the problem is.
Yeah, and I think we have had any difficulty, and when you have a business or an organization, there's always, there's things that come up that you have to deal with, and And God is just really, He's given me an administrative gift. So it's very easy for me to set boundaries for things that other people go, well, can't you just let that? No, we can't, you know. It is what it is. But there have been people that have done all of their work and turned it in on time, but it was not a godly work. There would be the third case where we couldn't certify a master coach who turns in half Christian, half secular work. You know, and I just, in case I don't have an opportunity to say this again, to whom much is given, much is required.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
bear that in mind as you're going through the process.
My advice for you is, if you feel an inkling that God is calling you to do this, you need to take a leap of faith. When you look at it, you are going to have doubts and say, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. If God wants you to do this, He'll equip you to do this. And you just have to keep believing that. Every time you're trying to get an assignment done, you're trying to get it done on time, and life happens, and you just say, God wants me to do this, I can do this. So just do it.
Amen.
And Dr. Bush is always happy. I mean, anytime I've called her, she has never made me feel like, gee, why are you calling me? I don't know how to articulate this exactly, but it relaxes us in the process. Because you believe in us, and you are the best cheerleader, and you see a vision for us that we don't see. And I think that is a gift for you. So you cheer us on, whether you know it or not, but you encourage us and help us and give us good suggestions, and you get excited for us. And that really helps.
Amen. I am very grateful that I had total access to Dr. Bush during the 6 months, but I was also very grateful that the big chunks of homework and the things that were due were only once a month. And that our official coaching session about what I had done that month was only once a month, which was lovely, but I too had lots of access any direction. But I did not try to call late at night. So we're 3 hours ahead of him.
Now, did you feel that the sessions inspired you, that it maybe helped you think about things with different options, or that your original idea maybe expanded and grew?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It really helped me to think outside of the box, because as Jenny was saying, your vision was from up here, but you thought out of the box, and I was thinking in the moment in the box, and every time we met, I felt like it was almost a launch point for the next very important, crucial piece to the master coaching. So yes, it was very essential that those times, it was invigorating and exciting.
Did it make a difference with how you started your practice, how you developed it based on what you learned? Do you feel like you were more equipped?
Yes, because you coached me. I was behind the scenes and between the lines, listening to how you coached me, and the confidence with which you coached me, and all the questions that you asked me to draw out of me things that I didn't even know were there. And so that was a really effective process, of mentoring process, or just coaching process of watching how you did things was really very, very, very powerful in helping me learn how to be a coach. And I wasn't the easiest coachee. I was a little difficult, I'll bet. I felt difficult in my heart. So, you know, but you saw in me what I didn't see in myself, and you helped me to process things that I didn't even know were there.
That's a true leader
Yeah.
right there. That's a true leader
Yeah,
right there.
absolutely, yeah. So thank you
I guess
again.
it's, for a lot of people, sometimes they have a difficulty finding that vision. But that's interesting that you pointed that out, because I find myself seeing other people's visions before they see them. And I guess that's why God put me where I'm at,
Yes. Yes.
because when they start seeing this, they see an acorn, I see the tree. Would you say that's true?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And that's how I came up with personalretreatcoaching.com as my emphasis. Is I really love watching women go deep with the Lord and watching how He works in their lives. That is my favorite thing to do. Whether you're in the battle with cancer or whether you're in the battle with life, everybody has a life storm that they need to come out the other side victoriously in. And so you helped me put that package together, and that's how I came up with my niche, was God inspired, but you helped me develop that. Let's take a couple of questions if you have any. What's on your heart? Kathy.
All during the conference this morning, and even during your speech this morning, the Lord has been just bringing upon my heart, and I was actually talking
Kathy,
to...
can you hold the mic in front of you?
Okay, talking to Beth about this earlier, but through Linda's talk this morning and everything else, and during this whole weekend, the Lord has been bringing back to my memory and putting upon my heart things that have happened in my life, and upon a prophecy that was given upon me years ago. And now I feel it's something that, during your talk, could be a niche for me in my life, and that is forgiveness.
Wow.
And how the Lord has really worked forgiveness into my life, how it was prophesied in my life that I would be speaking to thousands about forgiveness. And so I really believe that the Lord is pushing me in that direction. And thank you for even bringing that we do need to have a niche, and I believe that that's really where God is calling me to really help others that aren't even thinking about Christ in their daily life, to bring them to a point to realize that what their problem is they need to forgive themselves and forgive others.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. Yes, Dr. Zimmerman?
I just had a quick question. Homework and so forth, how that fits into when your plate is almost already too full, so to speak. About how much time is involved in getting that homework done each month?
I think it varies for each person depending upon what their major project is. I think Pam's time investment has probably, just by virtue of what it is and the amount of it, has possibly been greater than anybody else who has done this. Not that anybody else here could not have done it. I think they're all capable, but just because of what it is, the magnitude of the program. Like, God has been working through the process. Even with me, initially we would start out doing a program, and it's like a nice little program, and they go and do their thing with it. And then more and more we're seeing that if we're going to do the job, we might as well develop a program that can be presented. I mean, it's going to be a quality program. We can help you market it at the Academy. We can help you launch it. You know, like we did here for Pam. We can help her launch her book. We can help her launch her website. We have the capacity because we have the audience. We've got over 10,000 people watching us all the time, and when we send out an announcement, people take note. And so because of that, it makes a whole lot of sense for you to develop something that can be marketed through the Academy. And so that type of a project takes more time because there's more moving parts, there's technology that's involved, and that kind of thing. And you're learning to work within that also, because in your case, what you may want to do if you're considering doing the master program down the road is developing something that can be online, that can provide the blessing for the people who receive it, and then a residual ongoing income for you. And that's the idea of when you learn to create a program with me. I teach you the system. Once you learn the system, you can replicate it over and over again in your life. It's a program that really pays you. You have a little investment, but down the road it pays you over and over again. Because Pam's already making money with hers, right? Yep.
If I understand correctly, it's in a sense almost like custom tailored for each student.
Oh,
so to
yeah,
speak.
very much, because each one of us have a unique way that we're going to be using it, and our projects are unique, our programs are unique. You know, one is not like another. So it'll be customized to what you want to achieve with it.
Sure, thank you.
May I just offer one other thing about that?
Yes.
And that is that, for example, my major project being a book, I knew it was in me. I just hadn't taken the time and focused and written the book. And I think that that happens perhaps a lot of times with a major program. You know what the Lord's laid on your heart, but you haven't set aside the time to be disciplined and just get the thing done. And you work it into life, because life is going to happen anyway. And if the Lord's put something on your heart that you need to majorly get it done, if He says get this thing done, like the gal yesterday was talking about writing a book, then He will make the time to make sure that it gets done. But it's a good time frame to go, okay, I need to be focused and I need to just get the thing done. Because it could go years and years and years and years of you knowing, if you don't put the discipline is not a bad word. It's a D word, is not a bad word. To be disciplined and get it done, and it really helped give us a track to run on. So.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.